Sometimes research takes you abroad, and here we are in France on our way to Paris, where Bob Richel would at least spend a week a year walking around the city and looking for the sites that he loved. And some of these sites would not include the Eiffel Tower, but more the cemetery of Père Lachaise, where a lot of celebrities are buried. And one of them, Papus, might have been of great interest to Bob, or even the grave of a Freemason, which was something he really interested him. The grave of Victor Noir, that had a strange legend attached to it, or the grave of Frédéric Chopin, the composer, which he loved dearly. Other trips were to the Marché aux Puces in Port de Clignancourt, where Bob would walk through these small, narrow alleys in search for small trinkets that would interest him or that would have a strange history attached to them. Um, there are other sites in Paris, like the house of Nicolas Flamel, the alchemist, or even the small book markets along the Seine River, which would have books that Bob couldn't read, but which he just bought because of some very nice illustrations, and then end up in a park to have some lunch. After Paris, we were driving down to the Charente in the southwest of France, near Angoulême, the city known for its comic book museum, and also known for a very nice cognac and some of my personal favorites, the Pinot de Charente, which is a very sweet liquor-like drink that I really love. The purpose of our visit to the Charente is because Bob's daughter is living here with her husband, and they live in a very quiet neighborhood. And if you look from the garden into the distance, you can understand why they chose to live here. It's a very tranquil and very nice environment. The house itself is steeped in the history of the Richel and the Eldermans family. As you can see, many generations are represented here in photographs on the wall near the stairway. And some of these photographs have to do with Bob himself, like this one, the wedding photo of his parents. And here we see the wedding photo of Bob and Louise in 1955. And here is a photograph of Bob when he was serving in the Dutch army in 1946 in Indonesia, and a photograph of his wife Loes, who is seen here sitting in front of the Eiffel Tower. We were staying in the guest room, and the guest room was also my working room. As you can see, there are a lot of boxes and crates which hold the family archives, and some of these boxes have drawings by Bob. As you can see, there are about 5 boxes there and 2 crates. These crates are filled with family documents. Here you see a crate with letters, a lot of letters. The folder on top are letters from a former girlfriend of Bob, with whom he had a relationship in the 1950s. And over here we have a table with my workstation, my laptop. That is the workload I'm working on currently. And here is a letter by his sister Anneke, which he sent to him when he was serving in Indonesia. And apparently she was one of the siblings who could type. Over here on the bed there are a few boxes with drawings which are divided between the children of Bob, and some of these drawings need some further analysis. And all these drawings, as you can see, are framed. In this crate there is a lot of work by Bob, but also a lot of copies he made, which he used to color. And also in these boxes are framed works and a few works that were not framed. The weather was very nice when we arrived there, and it only became hotter on up to a 38 degrees Celsius on the Wednesday and over 40 on the Thursday. But it was remarkably cool in the house, and as you can see, it's a tranquil environment. An occasional car passes by, but you can work really fast here and really concentrate on the task you are doing. And now we are going to look at another installation Bob made together with his wife, and it is called The Alchemist. And the alchemist in question here is Nicolas Flamel, and we have seen that Bob might have visited his house in Paris. The installation has been made by three persons actually. Bob was greatly involved with the furniture and the bookcase, and all these small jars you see over there and the little flasks that the alchemist had in his cabinet are made by Hans van der Storm. Here we see a small sigil from the Eldermans collection, and now we're going to look at the bookcase where little miniature books are stacked on shelves, and even Bob managed to have a title there, the Magicarum actually. There's a little head of Jesus Christ, a small painting of Baphomet. Bob really really adored the figure of Baphomet. Here we see a small chair for the visitor of the alchemist. And over here, a candle and some tarot cards, a book with a chain attached to it, a little bowl with a skull in it, a flask, another skull, and over here, in the corner, we see the alchemist himself pondering about his philosopher's stone and what he has to do with the time ahead of him.